What's up, everyone? It's your man King K back again with another video. This video is basically a disclaimer that Uber driving or Lyft driving is not for everyone, and that's a fact. I say this because just like any other job, there are setbacks, there are things that happen that make it not worth it. Okay? And for me, there's certain things that have happened like while doing Uber that I kind of question, like, is this really worth it? Using my car, or just given the time that I put into this and like seeing how much I'm actually making versus, how much I'm spending or how much I put in to be able to do this, right? So now we're talking about gas, we're talking about maintenance, we're talking about oil changes, how much kilometers you're racking up in your car. We're talking about the boredom that sometimes inevitably happens when you're on the road for over 5 hours, 6 hours, just driving. Okay, now we're talking about those trips that sometimes take you further than you want to go, and you have to drive back without possibly getting any passengers until you get to your city, or get to home, get to your home. Those days make Uber seem like it's really not the greatest thing to be doing with your time. You might get bored, you might get tired, you might get sleepy while driving, and these are things that happen because you're on the road all the time. And to be honest, for some people, they don't like to drive. They don't, it's not exciting for them. And for some other people, driving is exciting. Like, driving is super exciting. You're out, you're seeing the city, you're seeing what's going on, you're going around places, you're visiting new places, and maybe you get to talk to your passengers and you get to interact. Maybe that's you. In a situation like that, Uber might be worth it for you. If you are optimizing the hours that you spend on the road, you're optimizing the times of the days that you go on the road. Some people do the morning rush and the evening rush, and you're stuck in traffic sometimes for a while because of the rush, because of it takes forever to get anywhere during rush hour. That might seem very draining if you do that every day, because people that don't do Uber every day, or people that don't even drive Uber, getting to work and getting back is a hassle for them to be out in the traffic. So imagine you that does this every day, or you that do this quite often, and it's your job or it's your business. It could get draining. It get really old real fast. Okay, I've talked about advantages of doing Uber, how much money you can make. But when you're comparing how much you're actually making an hour and how much gas you're spending, to take people around like day by day, or let's say your weekly gas spending as compared to, your weekly earnings, you start to wonder, don't you? Then you look at the kilometers you're racking up, you look out to the wear and tear in your vehicle, you look at, some safety issues like riders that take off their mask in the middle of a trip, or that don't have masks to begin with, and you either have to provide them with a mask or cancel the trip when you get there, because people just don't know how to follow the rules, right? So stuff like that could sometimes make being an Uber driver problematic, okay? And it is, one of those things that just make you wonder. I'm just putting it out there because I've had some of these experiences, and other people have talked to me about these experiences, and it's just one of those things that happen. And it's just one of those things that, obviously, with anything in life you're doing, you have to weigh the pros and the cons. You have to analyze if it makes sense to you. Now, Uber driving makes sense to a lot of people. You set your hours, you're out when you want to be out, you make money when you want to make money, you make however amount of money you want to make. Yes, there are people that make $2, $4, $6, $8,000 from doing Uber a month, and it is realistic, but then obviously you deduct your expenses like with any other business, and then you think about the HST that you have to pay back, because they pay you that money and you have to remit. That's the word. You got to remit that when you file your taxes. Okay, so that's just some of the things that make me really cheesed about the fact that they are hindrances to the beautiful experience that you could be having. And that you have to be well rested. Like, that's another thing. Like, you have to be well rested, because trust me, if you're tired and you're Ubering, you will get sleepy. You might fall asleep while driving, which is very, very unsafe. So you have to consider these things. Now I know you've watched a lot of my videos. I've talked about a lot of things, a lot of advice, and but it is not for everyone. Some people do it transitionally while they are looking for other jobs. Some people do it part-time while they already have a job. And some people do it full-time. This message mostly would, apply to people that do it full-time, because, you will be faced with a lot of different experiences on a day-to-day. Now, depending, some people do it 4 or 5 times a day, 5 times a week, which I think is doable. But when you start to push 6 days a week, 7 days a week, or 10 hours a day, when you start to push, it could get quite cumbersome. It could get quite draining, and it could become very boring. Going to the same places every day, doing the same thing, driving the same distance every day. It adds up. But then when you're doing the same boring job, you're doing the same job that you don't like in the place you don't want to be in, you're not going to want to stay there for very long, versus when you're doing something that you actually enjoy, or a job that you actually enjoy, and you're working nice hours, you might stay there longer, and you might be happier and more productive. The same way, it's neither a good thing nor a bad thing. If you love driving, if you love being out, exploring your city or other places, and taking people where they need to get, setting your own hours, then you're not gonna mind it. If you love driving for long periods of time, you're not gonna mind it. But if you don't like being on the road that long, you're not gonna like it for a very long time. You're not gonna like it. It's not gonna be feasible on the long term or on the long run. Yeah, there you have it. Uber driving, Lyft driving, the rideshare driving might not be for everybody. So find out and really think about it if it's right for you. But you can only know that by actually doing it. So go out there, drive, and you will find your experience, and you will know if it's the right thing for you. For you that's already doing it, you already know if it's the right thing for you or if it's not. If you're transitional with this, if it's just a thing you're doing for now, versus if you love doing that and you want to keep doing it and go out there and have adventures, and you'd know. So yeah, you have to, it's a subjective thing. You have to go out there and do it. Some people love the bad, they already know that it's not for them. So to each their own. I hope you found this video informative. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Once again, it's your boy King K. I'll see you in the next video.